Hi friends, this is my commentary video for Body Talk by Ofenbach, and I'm very glamorous in that video. And so I'm dressed down here for contrast. We're gonna say it was intentional, but I've been working today, so. Anyways, I just finished putting this video together. I think I recorded this footage over a month ago because I usually make like a ton of videos at once, go back and edit them later, and try to like spread them out so that I'm not posting all the videos I made at one time at the same time. Anyways, yeah, this one's super fun. It's just like a fun dance video. Um, and I'll talk about the effects and stuff that I used first, and then I'll talk about a fun way that I like to look at this video. So first, I did this one in CapCut. I spliced it together. I think there were like 5 takes, and I used a couple of filters, clear and nightfall, to kind of get the color to look just a little bit better. The Depending on how close I'm standing to like the colored light, sometimes it just kind of flattens everything. I'm still figuring out like the right light position for stuff. And then I used noise and radiance throughout the entire thing, though I dialed radiance down so that it kind of creates like a shimmery kind of bokeh effect in places. And then I used a couple of light leaks, and then I alternated a black flash and a strobe for like a club effect. I tried to make it subtle, but I like how all of that came together. I think a lot of the videos I'm doing, like I really like using noise and light leaks and stuff and giving it kind of that slightly aged look. I mean, probably because everything now is so crisp most of the time. And then also, this is just iPhone footage, so it's not the greatest, so we might as well just like take it in the opposite direction and make it intentionally look that way. It also kind of, when you add these things that make it look more old school, it gives it a feeling of like history or vintageness that makes it feel like slightly more like established or something. I'm not finding the right words, but hopefully you can kind of get what I mean from like an aesthetic perspective. And then, so for this song, okay, so I'll say I definitely feel a little vulnerable when I share videos like this, where I am sort of expressing. I don't know if it's sexuality or just being a woman, but it's very uncomfortable for me, which is part of why I'm making myself do it to get over it. But I'll say this: I'm someone that has always fluctuated between feeling. Most of the time I feel like one of the guys. You know, like I don't really like most of the gender things that are out there. It's like gender fluid and queer don't feel quite right. Honestly, like two spirit is probably like the one that I'm closest to, because I feel like you can be anything and everything at any point in time. And most of the time, I don't feel like a man or a woman. I just feel like a being. But sometimes I definitely feel more masculine and sometimes more feminine. And since my weight loss surgery and losing weight, being able to wear more fun clothes, but probably some like chemical hormone changes in my body, I've definitely felt more like a woman. Um, well, at least half the time. Like I still feel like a dude a lot of the time. Or like just, like I don't know, just like a thing that's here, Like I mean, why do we have to, like I mean, obviously I'm biologically a woman, but why do we even have to like define things, guys? I'm just saying. Anyways, but so when recording the song and dancing to it, especially when trying to like, sometimes I think about the expressions I'm making and how I'm looking at the camera, and how the camera is seeing me, and sometimes I don't. And in this one, I think I was intentional in that, like the ones that are more up close, that are more like direct, I feel like that's like a little more of like masculine energy, whereas the ones where it's further back and I'm dancing is a little more feminine energy, like the watcher and the subject being watched, that sort of thing. I also think about this song, like a lot of the songs that I do, I feel like for me, I'm kind of expressing them. Like I feel like when I do them, there's multiple meanings to them. but one of those meanings often is kind of like a self-love or like a song to myself, you know? And so I feel like there's a little bit of that vibe, you know, like from like the masculine part of me to the feminine part of me. And I'm really interested in that artistically. Um, I think that gender, I mean, I think the entire human experience is fascinating, but gender is something I've always been interested in because I felt like I was happy to be a girl, though there were times I wanted to be a boy when I was young, but I always felt more like a boy growing up. I've always felt like I'm happy to be a woman and I have a woman's body, but I feel like my spirit is a little more masculine. But sometimes I tap into that like feminine, like energy and spirit, and when I do really like it. But I don't like staying there all the time, you know. I mean, I don't like staying in either one all the time, but I feel more comfortable, kind of just being, I don't know, not in the middle, but I don't know, hopping around, guys. It's more fun. Um, I think that there are definitely times when it is scary to express yourself as a woman, especially given like my history with sexual assault and stuff. Like before that happened, I already was like this way, but like I think especially after all of that stuff happened, um, I felt I know that I intentionally downplayed like my femininity, you know, which can be hard to do sometimes when you've got giant boobs. I mean, honestly, like getting overweight was kind of a blessing in some ways because even though I still got hit on occasionally, it felt like I was wearing armor and I got left alone a lot. But like that's a whole other series of videos. But I'm trying not to get too freaked out as I lose weight and look more traditionally attractive, that sort of thing. And I'm trying to help myself um, get comfortable, you know, being a woman and expressing that a little bit. Also, I just really hate how um, our society, specifically in the United States, like we are so ashamed of sexuality and, you know, just expression of anything. Like this is all a natural part of the human experience, and we shouldn't have to hide who and what we are. So yeah, f that. Let me tell you, I got to visit Cuba in 2016. Their attitude, at least that I perceived down there, is radically different from ours. They view all of this stuff as like a natural part of the human experience and to be celebrated. At least that's what I saw in their culture and their art and the paintings that were in public restaurants that were, you know, would be burned to the ground if an Alabamian walked into a place in the South and saw them. So, anyways, yeah, this was a good one. Fun song. Yeah, good.